Welcome to Act 4 Vocabulary for Romeo and Juliet. We're going to go ahead and get started. Not a lot of videos this time, but we do have a lot of pictures, so you might want to pay attention and get some ideas for your notes. Our first word is evasive. The definition of evasive is tricky or misleading with words. The antonym would be direct speaking. Tell somebody exactly what you mean. The synonym would be deceptive, and it is an adjective. So the sentence we have here: even though the criminal swore on the Bible, his answers on the witness stand were still evasive. Quite often when I hear evasive speaking, I tend to think of politicians. And here's a quick little video. We're going to watch two different people speak. First one is Mitt Romney, and then we're going to watch another guy, and they both have very evasive answers.
Wealth without it being seen as envy? I think it's fine to talk about those things in quiet rooms.
You want to balance the budget. Where are the specifics?
Well, the specifics are these, which is those principles I described are the heart of my policy.
Don't voters have a right to know which loopholes you're going to go after?
The best way to do this is to show the framework, show the outlines of these plans, and then to work with Congress to do this. That's how you get things done.
Isn't that a secret plan?
We don't want to... No. What we don't want is a secret plan.
Why not say right now?
Because we want to do this, we want to have this, George, because we want to have this debate in the public.
Would you ask Israel to freeze?
So you can kind of see them trying to answer important questions, important topics, and both are being very evasive. They don't want to come out with a straight answer because then they're locked down to it. They're trying to be evasive so they can make it sound better than what it is. Alright, our next word is pallor. Pallor is a paleness in skin color. The antonym would be tan or flushed, which means you have color. Pallor is usually like a whitish kind of tint, I guess. The synonym is whiteness. The part of speech is adjective. We got a little picture of Casper the Ghost there. As the girl listened to the ghost story, her face took on an unnatural pallor. So basically that pallor is kind of... I've got some zombie pictures I'm going to show you because they kind of hit it perfectly. Sorry, I forgot to pause right there for you. But here is the funeral pallor picture. So you kind of see it's a little bit light colored. The next one here, some guys putting on makeup. That's not a great example, but I think this guy, he has that light, almost he looks dead. It's that real light pallor color. Here's another little crazy lady, and then another example of a pallor. So when we're talking about pallor, to me, vampires, zombies, and they're both pretty popular, so you should have a pretty good idea of what that whiteness color is. Alright, our next one is a shroud. We're going to read about this with Juliet and her burial shroud. So basically, the definition: a cloth or sheet in which a corpse is wrapped for burial. The antonym is nothing or openness. You just bury somebody. A synonym would be a covering or a blanket, and it is a noun. We're also going to read about it in the Odyssey. In the Odyssey, Penelope weaves and unweaves a shroud for Odysseus' father in order to put off marrying the suitors. So she keeps saying, well, I'm gonna have this shroud. When I'm done with the shroud, I'll marry you. But she never finishes the shroud. I'm going to show you a few more pictures of what a shroud may look like. Alright, so these pictures here are actually from like a Romeo and Juliet play. This part right here, this is the shroud. So she's on her deathbed. They put the little cover over the top of her. Here's kind of a drawing of it. You can see him with the shroud back there. Here, this is her covered in a shroud. This is actually a ballet, so they're dancing with the shroud. But all it is a cover that you would put on somebody for burial. Alright, our next word is lament. The definition of lament is to mourn or grieve deeply. The antonym would be to celebrate. Synonyms would be wail or bawl, and the part of speech is a verb. On September 11th, 2001, people lamented the loss of many innocent lives. So lament is basically when people are upset. If it's a deep, grieving, upset, then they're lament, or they are lament. Not they are lament. They have lament. Quick video here of actually Odysseus's mother. So in this video, this is Odysseus's mother. This is Odysseus's wife Persephone. This is just a servant. But you're going to see them lament in just a short time because Odysseus' mommy is going to go kill herself. Watch this lady in the back. It's pretty funny.
You're strong enough alone. You will feel me with you.
That's my favorite lady right there. Oh, I'm so sad. Blah, blah, blah. To me, her death screaming "no" at the end, that is a perfect example of this word. Alright, our next word is ninny. And Will Ferrell pretty much nails this this word for me. So the definition here is a fool, or the synonym would be a simpleton, somebody that's very simple. The antonym would be a genius, like myself or Miss Cruz, of course. And the part of speech is a noun. So the stepbrothers are ninnies. They are middle-aged men who still live at home and act like children. So if you've ever seen the movie The Step Brothers, it's a great example of ninnies because they're both very immature. They both act like simpletons throughout the entire movie. Another one is Will Ferrell in The Elf, where he says, "I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins," which is actually kind of like a Shakespearean insult. But he's saying he's a ninny muggins, so he's a simple fool. And he does a great job portraying that in the movie The Elf. So these are going to be your examples here. Just, I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins, and then we have the Step Brothers, either one of those guys. So that is all we're going to do for today. Make sure you have sentences with context clues with the words used correctly. You also need to have a picture for your notes, and we will be collecting them. Have a good night.